The moment you are forced to step out of your comfort zone, you learn something new on an everyday basis.
Welcome to the Heart of Inspiration with YOUx Talk show in collaboration with GRISU Media Arts. I'm Mohsinaa Ahmad, an empowerment coach, co-founder of Self Discovery podcast, where we bring you the stories of wisdom, resilience, and success. From boardrooms to community leaders, from tech innovators to wellness gurus and influencers in varied fields, our guests are a testament to the diverse tapestry of human achievement. In today's episode, I bring you a leader in his truest self, Mr. Sujay Sarkar, who is the Senior Vice President and Group Head of Corporate Finance of Olam Agri. Sujay is not just a financial expert, he's a strategic business partner, a change catalyst, and a digital transformation specialist. Sujay is a seasoned professional who has lived and worked in multiple countries, bringing in a wealth of diverse experiences to the table. So get ready to immerse into the knowledge of Sujay's experience of being a global professional as he shares the pros and cons of working out of your comfort zone. So welcome, Mr. Sujay, to my podcast.
Thanks, Mohsinaa. Thanks for having me here.
So tell me, Sujay, you are a group head of a multi-frontage and a global company at such a young age. What is that one change that you created in your life that led you to the achievements?
I think if I just talk about one thing, it is my sense of being adaptable and ready to take on fresh challenges. So I've never backed down from doing something new or doing something outside of my comfort zone. So I've lived and worked in multiple different countries. I have traveled across the entire African continent. But yeah, I mean, the readiness to try out some new stuff and travel to new places, work with new business segments, new people, I think that has helped a lot.
So you have lived and worked yourself in multiple countries. Okay, you have been exposed to different cultures and challenges. Could you tell us how has been your experience so far? Have you enjoyed it? Have you thought that, listen, why am I doing so much? Let me go back to my home country. Let me settle down, with ease, where the challenges are known, because the challenges you are facing or you have faced throughout has been really unknown for you.
So I started my career by working around 10, 11 years in India before I moved on to Africa. And yes, initially there is a fear of the unknown. There is a lot of apprehension in the mind. But for me also, when I moved to Africa, it was a leap of faith. The moment you are forced to step out of your comfort zone, you learn something new on an everyday basis. So from being a very task-oriented person, I think I learned over time to also give an equal importance to interpersonal relationships and people management skills. So this was something which I have practiced and developed over time. The cross-cultural communication skills, problem-solving skills is something I have learned over time. Without there being a known support network, so you tend to become more independent because you need to solve all your queries, questions, problems on your own. We got a chance to live different lifestyles depending upon which country we were staying in. So that was, I think, quite exciting.
Do you recommend this journey of yours to others?
See, I would definitely recommend getting some work experience away from your home state or home country. But yes, it's not a bed of roses. There will be challenges. So you will feel homesick. You may not have enough people who speak the same language as you.
There has been a lot of talk about employee burnout, okay, especially in the tech sector. Now it's work from home. That is, remote working conditions are there. Still, they're spending more time with their team members. What is it that is leading to increasing job anxiety given the large scale layoff in the tech industry? If you can, enlighten us in that, and if you can guide us for people who are in this industry and struggling.
So I think employee burnout has become a pretty big problem in recent times, and it is also being fueled further by the way we changed our working style during the pandemic. So during the pandemic, with most of us working from home, the boundaries between working time or personal time, I think, got completely blurred. So anybody and everybody can be pulled into a call at any time because everybody felt that you are anywhere at home
Right.
and you are available. While that increased flexibility, but the boundaries between work and personal life got completely burnt, and that has encouraged excessive overtime, encouraged people to work overly long hours, which I don't think has worked well, and we are kind of struggling to kind of restore order now. What I would suggest in terms of trying to overcome this or mitigate this is firstly to have some open communication with your team and with cross-functional teams, with all your colleagues. Be ready to not only provide feedback but accept feedback. If things go out of hand, maybe it is also a good idea to try and provide some mental health support. And largely, I think in terms of controlling the work-life balance, it is very important to firstly start with realistic expectations. So don't set goals which require someone to work long hours on a regular basis. Do not overwhelm your team members with unrealistic timelines. So if I have something to be delivered in 1 month's time, but if I tell my team that no, it has to be done in next 5 days or 10 days, that's not a realistic way of dealing with it. Finally, I think there is no one who cannot be motivated and encouraged further with timely recognition and appreciation. So it's important to celebrate each small win. It is important to celebrate milestones and achievements as a team.
I would like to point out one thing here. Because you're in the top management, okay, probably you are in the process of even hiring people, right? For your desk or for your people whom you require for your company. Okay. So what are the three things that you're looking for in an employee or in a team member who comes and joins you or your company? Okay, what are the three things except the educational qualification? What are the three personal attributes that you're looking for in a person?
Education qualifications, technical skills, I think are a kind of given, and they are a filter after which you only, let's say, get to the interview
Right.
stage. But once you're there, I think among the things which are very important to me personally is an attitude to get things done. Every single job, every single project will have some challenges. Everything may not be available at the same time. And in today's world, you are forced to take decisions with incomplete information. How well do you react to this? How quickly you can adapt and accept this and move forward is, I think, very, very important. And every single decision need not be perfect. Maybe in some situations, good is good enough. Trying to achieve perfection, but with a much bigger delay in terms of not being able to meet timelines, I think is not the right approach. So rolling up your sleeves and ready to get your hands dirty, I think is a skill set or an attitude which is very, very important.
You mentioned the word perfection. I feel so many of the people let go of their desires and their goals or delay them because of this attribute of perfection. Because perfectionism is an illusion, actually. Nobody can be perfect. You should not even strive for it, because if you do, you not just create turmoil in your life, you create turmoil in people around you as well, and you delay the work in hand. So this is something my viewers have taken a note of this. Okay, don't waste time in being perfect. Roll up your sleeves and get the work done. Sujay, because you're from the financial domain, okay, first of all, I'd like to ask you a few things about beginners who are trying to invest or trying to build something up. Usually people do this after they get married or after they have a probably a child. Okay, they start the financial planning. What age do you think a person should start investing?
So first thing is, I think one should get some bit of training on financial literacy, maybe at a high school level itself. You should know the basics of handling your personal finance. And when you start your first job, you are starting to earn your first salary. I think that is the time when you should start looking at financial planning. But broadly speaking, for a person who's young, who's starting in his career afresh, I would say figure out your list of long-term goals. And they can be a combination of both investment and as well as enjoyment. My own personal financial plan, for example, includes some set of money being set aside for travel every year, some money to be set aside for my kids' education, for maybe buying a house and 5-10 years down the line. It is also important to get professional advice to figure out which kind of investment assets classes you can invest into. Do not get swayed only by the promise of high returns. We should also look at the safety factor, whether your principal amount is safe enough.
Yes.
The earlier you get started on this journey, better it is.
True. There's so many people who come to me or we have a discussion, because I'm an empowerment coach as well. So what they say is their main problem, no matter how much they're making, okay, their main issue is that they don't know how to save. That is their main. I tell them that, if a person at a very, very basic salary can save for himself and provide for their family, if you come to me and if you tell me that you can't save, that means you're not even acting on the habit of saving. Because saving, I feel, is a habit. If you're not building up that habit at a young age, you will never have that. And very rightly put, Sujay, that a person should have some kind of knowledge or an education at a high school level, because that is what remains with us, not what we actually are learning in terms of the bookish language that we have. That is not helpful. But what we learn in terms of practical utilization, which will give us returns in our life, is much more powerful in today's world. So Sujay, you are in the financial domain and you are heading a group, and I'm sure you're meeting new people, you're going ahead with diverse cultural adaptability that you have spoken about. What next? What do you want to do next, or what is it that you want to make out of your life?
Okay, so firstly, apart from having some professional goals, so I also have a couple of things which I want to work upon at a personal level. Beginning 23, I have stopped drinking alcohol altogether, and now 1 year down the line, I have been able to maintain the discipline and the consistency of working out, eating right, of having a high protein diet, sticking to my workouts most of the time. And I can say that I'm finished 2023 much healthier than where I was a year back.
Right.
So that's something which I want to continue. So December last year, I did a 5K run. This year, I'm planning to do much more hikes and runs.
Amazing.
So let's see how it goes. But so far, it's got off to a good start.
I'm sure it's going to go well, Sujay, because you have taken a decision of change. You have decided that, from today onwards, I'm not going to do some things that were hampering my health. In some way, I'm going to live more cleaner, probably. Okay. So you decided this and you have continued with your efforts and the consistency. And I'm sure there are many more things that, is coming your way in terms of health and fitness, because there is no limit to this. Okay. You can keep going on, keep reinventing yourself. I would like to point to my viewers here one thing, that there is no age or there is no point in time where you cannot shift a habit which was wrong or which was affecting you in a negative manner. There's no point in time where you say that, no, my time is gone and this is it. Sujay, I'm very, very happy and honored that you have come as a guest in my podcast, and you have shared not just professionally how profound things can be, but also personally, how you have gone through your drawbacks and how you've come out successful, and you're working it as a process, you're taking it as a process, and you're going ahead with it without any kind of inhibitions, without any kind of ego, or without any kind of rigidity in terms of your thought process. So it's so amazing to have you in my podcast, and I'm very, very sure actually that you will go a long, long way, because you are very open to a lot of things. And I'm sure in that process you also know your filters. where you need to filter out, but your adaptability has brought you such a long way, and I'm very honored that you have shared this aspect of a human behavior which many people have let go of it in today's day and age. Okay, thank you so much, Sujay, and this podcast is really amazing. It is very insightful in your life.
Thank you. Thanks, Mohsinaa. So I think it was a lovely conversation, and I had a great time. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Sujay, for joining me.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast interview are those of the guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the HT Media, GRISU Media Arts, or the host. HT Media makes no representations as to the accuracy, completeness, currentness, suitability, or validity of any information in this video and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis. HT Media reserves the right to edit, modify, or remove content without notice. Any reliance you place on such information is strictly at your own risk.